Today we're in Telluride, Colorado for the Telluride Ski Patrol strike. Here's some background on it. Telluride's current ski patrol strike grew out of stalled wage negotiations that began in the summer of 2025 and culminated in an authorized work stoppage and full resort closure starting December 27, 2025. June 2025, contract talks between Telluride Ski Resort and the Telluride Professional Ski Association, focusing largely on wages and benefits. On August 31st, 2025, the previous ski patrol contracts expired. Fall 2025, negotiations continued without agreement. In early December, Telluride Ski Patrol members rejected at least one final contract offer from the resort by a 99% margin and reaffirmed their willingness to strike. December 8th through the 10th, the resort publicized its offer, 13% immediate wage increases plus a minimum of 5% COLA in the next 2 seasons. The union countered that it still falls short of its requested increases, roughly $7 an hour raise more at the low end, and significantly higher caps for veteran patrollers. In the evening of December 23rd, Telluride Ski Patrol announced it will begin a work stoppage strike. On December 23rd and 24th, Telluride Ski Resort issued a public statement saying that due to the patrollers' decision to strike, the resort will close on December 27th with no set reopening date, citing safety concerns about operating without union patrollers. On December 27th, the strike began. Telluride closes all lift operations, offering refunds and prorated pass compensation to affected guests while indicating it is working on contingency plans but has no idea how long the strike will last. The resort remains closed with no additional bargaining sessions announced and no publicly stated reopening date.
We're going to try and talk to Ski Patrol. We're going to go try and talk to someone at Telski. If anybody's in town here, we're going to ask them what they think as well. And we're going to just try and learn as much as we can about this whole situation.
We are on an unfair labor practice strike related to negotiating our new contract with Telluride Ski and Golf.
What are you asking?
We are asking for a sustainable wage structure that supports attraction and retention as opposed to a one-time pay increase that's going to land us in the same position again in 3 years.
I feel like it's pretty reasonable.
I think so. I think the actual monetary difference between what we're asking for and what the company's offering is quite small. They just seem unwilling to engage in a conversation about our wage structure, which we feel is outdated and doesn't give people a clear path in this career.
Do you feel like you're willing to compromise?
Yeah. We've made a lot of effort to compromise already. We dropped approximately $220,000 off our offer just in the first 3 weeks of December to try and avoid this outcome. Before that, we moved another $300,000 off our initial ask. And I believe, without looking at the numbers, the company's come up just over $300,000 total.
And how does it seem the community is responding to this?
I think there's varying opinions. I think there's a lot of people who are really supportive of us. I think there's a lot of people who are really scared about the potential of how this impacts the community. The unfortunate reality is that doing this does affect the community, but there's a certain point where we need to advocate for our group, and it's just more that we have the power to do so and other people don't because we're unionized.
Yeah. What about the idea that, Telski's statement was something to the effect of like the ski patrollers are choosing to shut down the mountain? What's the
friendships?
What's kind of the response to
that? It's not within our power to do that. They've known for months that this was a potential direction this was going in, that this wasn't an empty threat, and that we were being really honest about our needs as an organization. And for them to say that it was our choice to do this is really unfair and hurtful to place the blame on our shoulders when we're just trying to live here.
Hi, my name's Hunt Worth. I'm a senior ski patroller at Telluride Ski Area, and I've worked for the Ski Patrol for 41 years.
Hunt, what are y'all asking for?
Basically, wages that make this job sustainable. One of the reasons that we created a union in the first place a decade ago was to try to make it so that the younger folks coming in could use this as a career and not just as a job for a couple years and then moving on. And one of the issues is that it's very, very expensive to live in ski areas. And Telluride is right at the top of that list as far as expensive. Most of the guys that are working for patrol and the women that are under 40 are commuting 45 minutes to an hour each way every day just to come to work because it's so expensive to live in a ski area. All we're asking for is fair wages so that we can afford to keep doing this job.
And what kind of pushback have you received from
Well, they've done a lot of things other than negotiate. They've put out a lot of propaganda. They put out numbers that they didn't offer us when they were saying what they had done for patrol. And they've basically not been interested in a positive conversation to try to create a working situation that works for us.
And how long are you prepared to go on strike for?
Well, at this point, as long as it takes. This is day one. So we don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, the ski area will be willing to further negotiate and that we can get this done and get back to work. That's what we all want. This is the last thing we wanted to do. We were hoping to have a reasonable conversation with the ski area and come to a reasonable agreement. Unfortunately, that has not happened so far.
Over social media, Facebook, Instagram, people have, some local people and businesses have complained that this will negatively affect them and their businesses. What do you have to say to those people?
Well, it's true. It's going to negatively affect everybody in this whole town, and it's very, very unfortunate. But the other side of that is that all of the service workers in this town are in the same situation that we're in. And one of the things that the owner said in one of the emails a month or so ago that he sent out to the town was that if he paid patrol more, then he would have to pay all the other workers at the ski area more as well. And that is one of our points. Yes, he needs to pay everybody so that we can all afford to work here, not just ski patrol, but lifties and all the people that work on the mountain. And it's the same situation for everybody in town. And if you ask the business owners, almost every business owner will tell you that they can't find workers. Everybody is running short because nobody can afford to live here. So the service workers are being priced out and commuting for an hour each way in the middle of the winter, in the middle of blizzards and everything else. So it's not a sustainable situation. And what we're trying to do is create a more sustainable situation for the entire workforce in Telluride.
Perfect. Start with an introduction, your name, and your position with Town Council.
Hi, I'm Dan Enright, and I am a Telluride Town Council person in my second term.
Dan, what's your understanding of this ski patrol strike?
Yeah, so in the summer, the current contract between Telski and the ski patrol expired. They had started negotiations around that time leading into it, and have been going back and forth negotiating with the ski company for around 5 months now, and have yet to be able to reach a deal with the ski company in order to continue work. They were working without a contract for a number of months, doing the work to get the ski area ready for the winter, and then when the negotiations continued to stall, they eventually announced that they had approved a strike, eventually then announced when the strike would happen, and in response, the ski area decided to just completely close the ski resort.
And then, is the company as a whole, the Telski as a whole, that's responsible, or is there just one person that's holding up?
Yeah, it's hard to say responsibility. I certainly do not blame Ski Patrol because I think they've been negotiating in good faith. At this point, it seems that the ski company isn't continuing to negotiate. So if one side carries more blame than the other, I would say that's on the Chuck Horning and the ski company. Playing the blame game seems a little counterproductive. I do understand many in the community are going to be feeling these impacts, and I do want to acknowledge and respect that. But I think these guys are continuing to show up, continuing to be here, and continuing to try to negotiate in good faith. And so I don't think you can blame them.
And if this ski patrol strike lasts longer than today, this week, how do you see that affecting town, local businesses, and ski culture here in Telluride?
It's definitely going to be a big and negative impact for many in the community, many other workers who work for other businesses and many other small business owners here in the community. And that I definitely sympathize with and definitely want to make sure people know I hear and feel for. We will all want to get to a resolution of this as quickly as possible and diminish those impacts to the greatest possible. At the same time, I support these people because I know and have seen firsthand how hard it has become for working people to make Telluride their home. Telluride's always been a tough place to live, but it has continued to get worse and worse. The median home used to cost about 10 times the median salary here in Telluride. Now it's over 40 times the median salary for the median home here. So it's just continued to get prohibitively more expensive in Telluride, and that is what's diminishing that ski culture here. When I moved to Telluride, we really were a ski town where it felt like the majority of people who were here to ski, and that was their motivation. Now we feel more like a mountain town where it's an escape for wealthy people to come up to a beautiful mountain destination. It's not about the ski town. Part of that is because of that diminishment of the working class here in our town and making it harder and harder for people who are here to ski, here to recreate in the outdoors, to make and call this their home and build the future here.
My name's Tom Sokolowski. I'm known by the nickname of Socko since I was about 8 years old. And I've been in Telluride 54 years. First year I was not on the ski patrol, I was on a trail crew. So I've only been patrolling 53. I like to say I was 3 when I came, but people don't believe that anymore. Anyway, and I'm still doing it. So I just feel really privileged and lucky to be here.
What are y'all standing around here for today?
Well, we're picketing because we're on strike. Somewhat over wages and some over benefits, and that's what we're doing. We're on strike.
What's the general mood in the group?
Right now it's pretty good. If it goes on for a long period of time, I'll wonder, but you know, we're in it and we have to see where it leads. And we went back to them and gave up a bunch of stuff. We thought we were bargaining, and they're not coming back with anything, so we had no choice.
Was that surprising?
I think it is. I think, when you sit down and negotiate, you go, I'll give you this, you give me that, and it works out. And it's just, we're being stonewalled. And, being around this long, I'm not in it for me anymore. I'm in it for the young guys, to try to get some continuity for them to be able to stay here. It's getting harder and harder. And, when you're paying $2,000 a month rent, it's hard to pay that rent on $20 an hour.
How long, obviously there's some strategy in not giving a number, but how long are you willing to keep going for?
As long as it takes. I don't know if the owner is willing to keep the ski area closed for the season or not, but it seems like the company line is it's our fault, and we're willing to work. That's why we're here. We love it, and that's why we're here. And there are a lot of people depending on working this winter, not just the ski patrol. The whole community, and I just don't understand that line of reasoning.
What do you say, to the idea that other people might have in town that it's a huge disruption on everyone's livelihoods?
I think, a lot of people understand that. Right now, we have a lot of community support. I'd say at least 80%, if not 90. But if it goes on for a long time, I don't see it happening. Someone talked to somebody today, just a little bit ago, that said his rent's paid for the month. If he doesn't go back to work, he has to leave. And it's not somebody that works for us. It's just somebody, maybe a waiter, maybe, I don't know what his profession was. But, yeah,
What do you think? Is the leadership at Telski? Do you feel like they feel pressure right now as well?
I hope so. I don't care if it's from us, but they ought to feel pressure. They ought to feel some empathy or sympathy for the people who live here and work here and own businesses and that are trying to be here. I just don't understand shutting down the ski area over not a lot of money.
Have you seen Chuck around?
No.
Since this is an
No.
emergency?
No, I haven't.
We would love to have a fair contract and a living wage.
And how will that improve your life here in Telluride?
Just be able to live here and work maybe one job.
And what are you asking right now of Telski?
We're asking for a living wage, and we were asking for health care, but we dropped that because we're just trying to create a structure that we can all make a career out of.
And what kind of pushback have you been getting from Telski?
Just no contact.
No contact whatsoever?
None.
No emails, no responses, nothing?
I mean, nothing from Chuck. Zero.
What do you say to folks that say other people deserve raises and not just ski patrol?
Everyone deserves we are trying to lift everyone up, and also say that it's been a long time coming, and I'm really, really proud of this group for being able to, 10 years ago we unionized to have enough power to do something, because I don't think anyone else in this town can.
I'm Gary Richard, and I am a 45-year employee of Telluride Ski and Golf.
What are you doing here today?
Today we are trying to make the community aware of our struggle to lessen the wage gap, the price of living, trying to get people to work here in Telluride and stay here.
How's it going?
Well, this is our first day of the official picket, and I think it's going great. We have 100% solidarity, and we're just trying to get the message out. A work stoppage is the last thing we ever thought would happen, but this is what it's been driven to, and now we're trying to end it.
It seems like there's a lot, what was it, 99% voted for?
Yeah, this was overall effort by the Ski Patrol. Everyone here understands the struggles. A lot of us have been here for a while, and we're just trying to protect it for the people that are coming in. We're seeing people that come in, they get their experience here in 3 or 4 years, and then they leave because there's no chance for them to get into the housing market or the job market. And it's something that has to happen. I think we're representing all ski area employees at all resorts here. Coming here in the 80s, it was never about the money. The living was a little easier, but the times have changed here. I mean, the wealth gap is incredible. We want people to come here, stay here. We want our own children to be able to, when they get out of college, to have an option. Do you want to come back to Telluride? Yeah, you can do that, but you can't do it without a home or a good job or good pay, and that's what we're after.
So Ski Patrol was just down in town at the gondola picketing, and then they walked Main Street, took some photos on Main Street and at the courthouse. Pretty soon they're going to go over to get on the gondola and go over to Mountain Village. It has something similar planned over there. We're gonna go over early and see what Mountain Village looks like when it's closed in the winter, which it's pretty rare for that to happen. So we just got on the gondola. Telluride, the gondola is free from town up and over to Mountain Village, so anybody can get on. It's pretty slick setup. And you can see even, this, a lot of the mountain wouldn't be open right now if they weren't picketing anyway. There's just not enough snow right now. But I think a few days ago they had 6 runs open, maybe some more.
What do we want? Fair wages! What do we want? Now! Pay your people! Pay your people! Pay your people! Pay your people!
Yeah, we've got a work stoppage happening against Telluride Ski Resort. I'm a ski patroller, been ski patrolling for almost 30 years. This is my daughter Bryn, and we're just making a stand for fair wages and a job that pays what it's worth, so that we can keep younger patrollers coming through the pipeline and making this mountain safe for the guests.
What are you asking for?
So we're asking for a livable wage and fair compensation for the special skills that you built through a Telluride career. So, a ski patroller, there's a couple different categories of training a ski patroller needs to be involved with: medical, ski area risk management, at this mountain avalanche control, which involves explosives, and here we have a howitzer as well, and then high angle rescue, and then of course the medical aspect. And so personally I'm a paramedic, so I carry narcotics on the hill. We're able to offer advanced life support to our clients, also pain management, and a real high level of care like you would find in an ambulance in an urban area. And then we've got everyone on patrol can handle explosives, and over years they build the knowledge to lead avalanche routes in this mountain, which is very complex.
I'm good, how are you?
And then, there's things like rope rescue. We have guests that get hurt in very hard to reach places, and sometimes we need technical skills with ropes and other equipment to access it and to get them down safely. So you can't just open Telluride with a volunteer crew.
I feel like you're asking for something reasonable.
Yeah, and we're not even asking for the best contract in North America. We're just asking for comparable contract to what other mountains have agreed to with their patrols. Mountains comparable to Telluride with similar businesses, similar profile for accidents and avalanche terrain. That's all we're asking for. And we've moved a lot from our initial demands, right? So where we started and where we are now, we've moved pretty far. We're just asking Telluride Ski and Golf to come meet us halfway.
And they have not yet?
No.
To get a scope of the wages, what's the average wage right now for a ski patroller?
So I don't know what the average is. I would say maybe $25 an hour.
And then how many hours do you work?
So full-time is a minimum of 4 days a week. We work 10-hour shifts. So I personally work 40 hours a week. Most of the patrollers work 50 hours a week, 5 days. And so we're asking for a wage structure that would start closer to 25 an hour and then build from there, and then give us fair compensation for the years on patrol and also the special skills that you build up to.
What would you...
My understanding, we're over in Europe.
Yep, I was in skiing in France last year.
And how does their structure compare to here?
So I mean, like, first of all, the system in France, there's two fundamental differences, and this is a lot of places in Europe. One, most ski areas are owned by the municipality, right? So it's as if you have a national park or a state park where there's also skiing. So the tax base goes to support the operation of the ski mountain, and as a ski patroller there or a groomer, you're really a public service employee with a pension structure and a pay structure that would be more like a firefighter in the U.S. And that, combined with the fact that you also have socialized healthcare over there, so there's a lot of support to the folks that run those big ski areas in Europe. Whereas in the U.S., 20 years ago maybe it was possible for a bunch of ski bums to pile in a house and be able to pay rent in Telluride, but nowadays that's not possible. So we have folks that commute from very far away. They put in a lot of hours. Sometimes they show up for work at 4:30 in the morning here, and they do a lot to make this mountain safe to open. And we do it because we love it, right? It's a job we love and we're passionate about, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be compensated fairly. So we gave up the health insurance ask that we had, and we think we're asking for a fair wage. And yeah, the system in the U.S. and in North America it's harder for young patrollers to make a go of it. I've been in it for about 30 years, and our family's doing okay. But I'm really making a stand for the younger ones starting.
You feel like, how do you feel, what's your response to people in town that might say, this is really disruptive to the community and you're not thinking about the community?
We know it is, and our heart goes out to all the business owners, all the wage workers that are out there, and this was a last resort. And if you know Telluride, in the last 10 years, this has been a long chain of unfortunate events that have impacted the value of the Telluride name as a ski area, as a town, and it's really all been owing to the ownership of Telluride Skiing and Golf now, just not having any vision. When I first started working here, Bill Jensen, I think was his name, and he was a wonderful mountain manager to work for, and a lot of vision and a lot of support for the community. That's been chipped away at for years. He stopped working here 8 years ago, and it's just been person after person leaving, lifts that are not maintained, restaurants that can't be built or are partially built for years, and this town deserves better. So we really feel like we're making a stand for the town as a whole, and we're sorry that it's going to impact things in the short term. Sometimes things got to get really bad before they can get better. That's my philosophy. And I'm proud that, my daughter can see us standing up for what's right.
That is hit the spot.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
That's amazing.
See, there was a lady who did come up and say, hey, here's some money, take care of a few.
That's awesome.
So, I had a customer come up and donate some money to feed some ski patrol, and there's some extra sandwiches on top to keep the crew going.
How do you feel about the strike?
I want ski patrol to get what they deserve. They are the reason we are out here and stay safe. So they need to get paid what they deserve to keep us safe and be able to live here and do what they need to do. So whether that means they have to go on strike, then we need to do that and support them however we can for however long we can.
Has it been slow today? Has it affected you at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's slow. But I keep telling everybody it's just the way the cookie's crumbling, and we're just gonna have to pick up the pieces.
How long you feel like you're okay with it?
I'm gonna stay out until the numbers don't make sense.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll fix that for you.
Oh yeah.
So we just talked to Ski Patrol. Got some thoughts from them. And now we're going to go walk Main Street and in town and see if we can find some more opinions on strike.
As someone who supports workers' rights, I totally support the ski patrollers here. Even though this is challenging for us because we came for a Christmas vacation, I'd rather see people get fair living wages and be supported by the people you work for. And we'll suffer so that other people gain at this point.
How have you changed your plan?
Just not skiing. So going and enjoying Telluride, and we're going to go snowmobiling and try to have a good time while we're here. So
Cool. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, first of all, the staff at Telluride is amazing. From every lifty and ski patrol person, I get that things are getting really expensive right now, and so it makes it hard for people to do what they have to do in their lives. From what I've read online, I don't know if I have all of the most accurate information, but it seemed like they made a pretty good counteroffer, and it's like a 13% wage increase, which I thought was pretty good overall. So obviously it's a really difficult situation for everyone, but I hope the ski patrol guys and ladies are willing to come back soon.
Is it disrupting your life at all?
I mean, there's no snow, so not really right now, but yeah, I mean, we spent a bunch of money to fly out here and put the kid in ski school and do the whole thing, but I just feel bad for everybody else in restaurants and all the other employees that are affected by it. So when a small group of people make it so you can't ski, it bums you out a little bit.
Oh, because I'm a huge supporter of Ski Patrol. And I spent a couple of years working as a lifty while I was finishing grad school during the pandemic. And the job they have is what keeps all of us safe up there. And having worked with them firsthand, especially early in the morning, or what I call, oh God, 30, when it's dark out and we're all working together to open up the lift, the whole mountain, they're indispensable. Their knowledge, their expertise, their EMTs, their paramedics, they have special credentials and experience with handling bombs for avalanche control. And I've also been on the other side of it when I blew out my ACL 2 winters ago, and they were right there to haul me down the mountain in a hurry because I had a full tear rupture.
Have you noticed it, the strike affecting the business you work at all?
No, not yet, no. And in fact, I would say that the local support here, from what I'm observing in the business community, and certainly saw this morning when they first went by, is tremendous support. Because these ski patrollers, they also have second jobs or third jobs working in a lot of these businesses on Main Street. We're a family here. And what they are asking for isn't a huge stretch. I mean, this is what the community's based on, and it's what it used to be like, honestly, pre-COVID, was all having each other's backs. That it's about standing up and supporting each other, and the trickle-down effect that has with everybody else who struggles to make ends meet. Because there's a saying here that in Telluride you either have 3 jobs or 3 homes. One or the other.
Well, I think it was inevitable that you hold skilled, qualified people at minimum livable wages. You got to have a strike. That's what unions are for. That's to protect the workers, and that's what's being done right now. It's a management that does not know how to run a ski area, has no desire to run a ski area, and has no regard for its employees.
I think it's actually ridiculous. There's more than enough funding for the mountain.
to pay a more than a living wage for our ski patrollers. I mean, they're the people who keep us safe on the mountain. So it's just the right thing to do. There's actually no good reason to close the resort because a change could have been made that would have prevented all the people who come to Telluride to, continue to be able to enjoy the mountain without closing the mountain because ski patrollers needed a living wage.
What would you say to the idea like that that I've heard today that you don't become a ski patroller to make a bunch of money? What's the rebuttal to that?
Even if that were true, which I think that's quite debatable, I think paying a living wage is just the right thing to do for a ski resort that can more than afford it.
Do you think this will affect like yourself or people you know in town?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, I think it is. I think it's making an impact. I mean, it's already a difficult year. I mean, without a good amount of snow. And here we are, the 27th of December, and one of the most, the periods of time when most people come to ski, and, as you know, the mountain's closed today.
Just say your first name and what you spend your time doing in town.
My first name is Tomas. Pretty much.
It was interesting. I thought we would probably find more people that were against the strike, but it really was only that one guy that I found and talked to. Obviously a small sample size, but I thought the ratio would be a little different. And there was a number of people from out of town who their vacation was pretty drastically changed by the strike. Most people that I talked to that just, I passed saying, were you going to ski today? Maybe a dozen. Almost all of them said they were planning on skiing today and they couldn't ski. And there was a mix with that group of folks who seemed pretty upset or disappointed by it, but often didn't voice their opinion on whether they supported the strike. I think it seemed like a lot of them were just kind of bummed out by the whole situation. Understandably, their vacation has been changed, and they, one guy said he booked the trip 10 months ago to come for this vacation with his family, and now they can't ski, so that's a bummer. Anyway, hope this was good, and first episode of Headwaters News, and we'll see where this goes. All right, thank you. Telsky didn't respond to my request for comment, and no one was available at the office because it seemed like no one was there, which is interesting considering what's happening at the mountain right now.